Hi dear students, today I am here to discuss about how to get an exemption in CMA Inter Financial Management and Business Data Analytics paper by preparing very less content. Generally, this is 3/4 preparation strategy. Yes, so we are talking about June 2025 attempt. See, this Financial Management and Business Data Analytics paper is a big subject which is covering problematic financial management and also business data analytics. This is for 20 marks. FM is for 80 marks and BDA is for 20 marks. Now I'm here to discuss about how to get an exemption and also how to get 80 plus marks with very less preparation. So my first focus is on 3/4 preparation strategy to get exemption. To get exemption in this paper, FM and business data analytics. You see, my dear students, these are the topics which were covered under this subject, financial management and business data analytics. I'm just showing the syllabus structure as per the study material. You see, they have assigned the weightage for the respective chapters also. Around 7 chapters in FM and 4 chapters in BDA. So, see, by seeing these percentages, students have already prepared accordingly. But my dear students, I have another best strategy which will give you an exemption in this paper FM and business data analytics. In my strategy, I'm not going to touch this subject BDA. You don't need to touch this subject. Simply ignore this. See, this is a good news for us actually. That means actually BDA preparation is so difficult for us. Why? Because even while writing the examination paper, writing the problematic part as well as theory part is a difficult thing for students actually. So this is a good news for us. Simply ignore BDA paper literally. And you don't need to prepare 100% of these topics also to get an exemption. I'll give you few topics. By preparing such topics, definitely you're going to get an exemption in this paper FM and BDA. So what are such chapters and how to prepare? This is our discussion today. Look at this. So we are talking about June 2025 attempt. I have covered nearly 4 papers, 4 past examination papers and also MQPs. So by seeing the trend, I observed few chapters are very, very important with more marks weightage actually. If you see, basically there are some modules here. First module, second module, third module, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. But in the examination paper, the weightage is different. You see, my dear students, module 3. First of all, let me tell you the examination pattern. You know that actually question number 1 is compulsory. That's a compulsory question that is loaded with MCQs, 15 MCQs. Each MCQ carries 2 marks. So by attempting 15 MCQs, you'll get 30 marks, 15 into 2, 30. When it comes to descriptive part, which is nothing but problematic as well as theory, which starts from second question onwards. My dear students, question number 2 to question number 8. Actually, 2 to 8 means around 7 questions. Totally 7 questions. So each question carries 14 marks. These completely question number 2 to question number 8 questions are loaded with FM as well as business data analytics. Even question number 1 MCQs are loaded with what? FM and BDA. Now, dear students, coming to question number 2 to question number 8, 7 questions. Out of 7 questions, you just need to attempt only 5 questions. That means there is a choice here. So out of second question to 7th, 8th question, you just need to attempt only 5 questions. 5 out of 7. That's it. So here we are taking the advantage. This choice is our advantage actually. Because of this reason only, we are defining this strategy. If there is no choice, maybe the strategy should be changed. So by seeing the trend, definitely you can attempt for 90 plus marks by preparing very less content actually. Or you can attempt 70 plus marks by preparing very less content. So in this session, I'm going to give you how to get an exemption, how to get 80 plus marks by preparing very less content. Okay, yes. Now here are the chapters which we need to cover. Important chapters. You see, In the first part, I'll give you how to get an exemption. I'll give you the guidance regarding how to get an exemption. Module 3, tools for financial analysis. As you know, this particular chapter, a broad cover is covering what? Comparative common size financial statements and trend analysis, financial ratio analysis, funds flow statement and cash flow statement. There are 4 chapters in this particular module 3 actually, which is carrying very high weightage actually. You know, my dear students, by preparing these chapters, so don't think that tools for financial analysis only, which means only ratio analysis. You should cover comparative common sense financial statements and trend analysis, and also you should cover funds flow statement and cash flow statement. Yes. So what is a past examination trend actually? You see, my dear students, from this chapter, the examination paper is giving you 3 7 marks questions, and you know, the question numbers are also fixed. If you can look at past 3 examination question papers, the question numbers are also fixed. So always from the past 3 examination question papers, you can see 3A, 3B and 4A. These 3 questions are related to this financial management paper, and especially the module 3, tools for financial analysis. You know, my dear students, see, each question carries 7 marks. So 3 into 7, 21 marks. And also at least 3 to 4 MCQs are covering. See, from this chapter, you can see at least 3 to 4 MCQs in the main examination paper. In the question number 1, there are 15 MCQs. Out of 15 MCQs, at least 3 to 4 MCQs are related to tools for financial analysis, especially ratio analysis. Okay. So this is what the past examination trend with respect to this chapter, tools for financial analysis, which is carrying a weightage of 25 to 30 marks. That means, my dear students, if you can prepare this chapter, tools for financial analysis, you can get at least 25 marks and a maximum marks of 30. So this is regarding tools for financial analysis. So you please focus more on this chapter, tools for financial analysis. Never take this chapter as a choice, because this is carrying a high weightage. Okay. Yes. By this, we are going to get how many marks? 25 marks. Now go for module 5. This module 5 is nothing but capital busting chapter. You know, my dear students, the past examination trend is showing always 5A and 5B questions are related to capital busting. And that too, in 5A, definitely they're asking you to calculate NPV. Most of the questions actually, most of the examination papers are showing NPV calculation, or else they're going to ask you IRR technique. So NPV, compulsory NPV problem, 5A. And when it comes to 5B, any other capital busting technique, we have so many capital busting techniques like what IRR, profitability index, payback period, or a combination of all the techniques, you know. And sometimes they're asking you to calculate equated annualized cost or equivalent annualized cost or annualized NPV. So these concepts are covering. So 5B is a random question out of the chapter capital busting, from the chapter capital busting. Any question they can ask you, but 5A is always NPV question. So, and also at least 2 to 3 MCQs are covered from this particular chapter, capital busting. So capital busting is a very important chapter that is going to give you at least 18 to 20 marks. At least 18 to 20 marks, my dear students. So please focus on capital busting after tools for financial analysis. This will give you 18 to 20 marks. You know, my dear students, if you take the least marks, 25 plus 18, you please add these two numbers, around 43 marks. So just by preparing these 2 chapters, tools for financial analysis and capital busting, you can get at least 40 marks. So this is the first part. Okay, then go for module 6. So 40 marks is our pass marks. Okay, by preparing just 2 chapters, you can get 40 marks for very sure. Okay, without preparing any chapters actually. Now go for module 6, working capital management. Working capital management is showing the past examination trend is showing at least 2 7 marks questions, and these are mandatory questions, always 6A and 6B from the past examinations. If you can see, always 6A and 6B questions are related to working capital management, and that too, my dear students, 6A question is completely related to working capital estimate. Always they're asking you to calculate working capital estimate under 6A question. So if you can prepare working capital estimates part in working capital management chapter, you're sure you're going to get 7 marks. And 6B, this is something interesting. See, most of the cases they're asking you to calculate economic ordering quantities, stock levels, reorder level, and also total cost computation at EOQ level or some other reorder quantity level. See, this particular inventory management is nothing but materials chapter under costing. If you're good at materials chapter under costing subject, then you can easily cover this particular concept called inventory management. So you please refer inventory management under materials chapter. This is so important even for financial management subject, because definitely they're asking you at least 7 marks question from this particular inventory management. Either they are going to give you inventory management or cash management models. Cash management models, Baumel's model, which is also known as inventory model, or stochastic model or Miller-Orr model, stochastic or Miller-Orr model. So out of these two models, any one model they can ask you. So either inventory management or cash management. That too, in cash management, you please focus on Baumel's model and Miller-Orr model. So my dear students, out of the entire big chapter working capital management, if you can focus on working capital estimates concept and cash management, especially inventory management and cash management models, definitely you're going to get at least 2 sevens, 14 marks, my dear students. So, and also you see there are at least two MCQs in the past examination trend. So ultimately the total weightage is around 18 to 20 marks. Yes, this is regarding module number 6. So by this we have covered 3 chapters. One is what tools for financial analysis, second one is capital budgeting, and third one is working capital management. Now go for module 7. See, my dear students, this module 7 is financing decisions of a firm. I'm not going to talk about the whole chapter. Actually, financing decisions of a firm is loaded with so many chapters, but you please focus more on leverages and EBIT EPS analysis, because definitely a fixed question. One question is compulsorily taken from what leverages and EBIT and EPS analysis. 7B, this is a fixed question. If you can cover the small chapter leverages and EBIT and EPS analysis, you are going to get 7 marks and at least 1 to 2 MCQs. So which is going to carry 9 to 11 marks. So this is so important, my dear students. Module 7, yes. And so one simple chapter leverages and EBIT EPS analysis, that gives you what, 9 to 11 marks. And institutions and instruments in financial markets. I'm not talking about theory, my dear students. You please literally ignore theory. Just focus on few problems related to this commercial paper and treasury bill YTM calculation, yield to maturity calculation. There are very few problems in your study material. You please look at those problems in money markets. At least 2 MCQs are always covering from these chapters. So you please don't focus on institutions and instruments in financial markets whole chapter. Don't focus on theory. Never touch that theory, because that gives you very less marks with huge amount of preparation. My biggest suggestion for the students, literally ignore this chapter for your entire CMA inter preparation, not only financial management. Why? Because this will give you you need to invest more amount of time, but that gives you very lesser amount of marks. Okay, yes. So, and also please focus on module 1, time value of money and risk and return, that covers 2 to 3 MCQs. So by covering these chapters only, you are going to get at least 75 to 75. You can attempt at least 75 to 78 marks. If you can attempt 75 to 78 marks, definitely you're going to get an exemption in this paper, without preparing business data analytics and without preparing the chapters like the theory fundamentals. The fundamentals in financial management, you don't need to cover such particular theory part. I mean, scope and objectives of financial management. You don't need to cover this instruments and institutions and instruments in financial market. You don't need to cover that. And also you don't need to cover sources of finance. Literally you can ignore. Even you can ignore cost of capital, and you can ignore capital structure in financing decisions, or also dividend decisions. Capital structure, because out of financing decisions you are just covering leverages only. You can ignore that particular capital structure and dividend decisions. So by covering these a few topics, you can get at least exemption, but you can attempt at least for 75 to 78 marks and you'll get an exemption. This is regarding 3/4 strategy. That means by preparing very less number of topics, you can get an exemption by attempting 75 to 78 marks. Yes, sir. If I want to get 80 plus marks, then what should I do? Simple, my dear students. Even here also, you don't need to touch the subject business data analytics, but you should cover cost of capital chapter, and also you should cover dividend decisions or capital structure theories. By covering these 2 topics, so additionally, you can attempt for 14 marks, 14 to 16 or 14 to 18 marks at least. So that by preparing these two topics, because 4b is a compulsory question, cost of capital, 7a is a compulsory question either from dividend decisions, especially Walters model or Gordon model and Modigliani and Miller model. Any one of the theory, they're asking you one question, or capital structure theories, NOA, NA approach, Modigliani and Miller approach, just like that, they're asking you. So if you want to get 80 plus marks by attempting 90 plus marks without touching business data analytics and without touching the theory concepts in financial management paper, so you should also prepare cost of capital, dividend decisions, and capital structure theories. By this, you can attempt for 90 plus marks, and definitely you're going to get 80 plus marks, because even if you lose 10 marks out of it, definitely you're going to get 80 plus marks. So this is regarding my 3/4 preparation strategy, and also to get more marks in this subject, financial management and business data analytics. How my video is helpful to you, because you're going to ignore several chapters here. Literally you're ignoring business data analytics, and literally you're ignoring all the theory topics in financial management paper, and you're going to attempt for 90 plus marks to get 80 plus. And if you want to escape from few chapters like capital structure and dividend decisions and cost of capital, then you can attempt for 75 to 78 marks. By that you can get 60 plus marks. So some of the students are not familiar with a topic called working capital management. My dear students, I have a suggestion for you. If you are not comfortable with working capital management, just take the chapter as choice, but you should prepare cost of capital, capital structure, and dividend decisions chapters, because those chapters are small chapters and you can easily understand those chapters. So if you can prepare those 3 chapters, then you can escape from this working capital management chapter. By that also you can attempt for 75 to 78 marks, and then you can get an exemption. So this is regarding my strategy. Hope my strategy is so much helpful to you. So please prepare accordingly, be smart, and get full marks. And all the very best, my dear students. Thank you so much.